Welcome to Lighten Up and Level Up. I am Linda Braun, and I am here with two other co-hosts. Hello, Blanca Gajardo. How are you tonight?
Hello, I'm doing great. Excited to be with you two one more time.
Yay! And Michelle Dial. Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Hey, doing great, Linda. I'm excited too. Glad we're here together.
Yes, very glad we're here together. So, and that's it. We're back together. We're talking about living out loud. We're talking about authenticity. We're talking about topics. We had a comment from one of our listeners who said we're talking about things that usually women are shy to talk about. And if I could find the name of that woman who gave that comment, I would have said it, but I kind of got lost in all the different threads. So whoever that was, I thank you. We are talking about things that usually women keep our mouths shut about and that we try and shoulder all by ourselves. And wow, that keeps us isolated. And then we really think we might be doing something wrong when really it's just part of our journeys, or it's part of our life. And that's what we're doing tonight. We have another powerful topic to bring to us about living out loud, about living in that authentic place and working through life. So before we actually get really into it, I do invite Michelle. Hello, Michelle, again.
Hello.
If you would like to bring us one of your beautiful invocations.
Sure. Thank you, Linda. And I would just ask everyone to, again, just take a deep breath and kind of let go of your day, just leave it at the door, so to speak, and envision just whatever peaceful surroundings you'd like to be in. If you're in, great, stay there. If you want to envision something else, your favorite place, maybe the beach or the woods or by some water, just feel that place just seeping into your pores. It rejuvenates you. Just let yourself be there. Letting your breath flow in and out. And connecting to yourself and whatever version of the divine or source or earth, whatever that means to you. Bringing that into your heart and really feeling it growing, nurturing you, is always there for you. Gently coming back to your space, your present surroundings. If your eyes were closed, opening them up and just know that you can bring that feeling, that energy into you whenever you wish. So it is.
Beautiful.
It is. Thank you so much, Michelle. It is beautiful.
Thank you. You're welcome.
We have one comment that I believe Michelle is also going to bring to us to get the ball rolling.
Yes, this comment is from someone we're calling Rosie. Rosie says, "My husband is an only child and I have 3 siblings. We have lots of children in the family, and we're noticing there are some issues with my husband relating, as an only child, relating to my family. In addition, there are some challenges with our different parenting types coming from different types of families, multiple siblings versus an only child." So yeah, that's our topic. This is kind of deep because we grow up with our siblings, and they're very, very integral to our culture, our personal culture, and how we grow up, how we relate to others. I have 2 siblings, 2 brothers, and my husband has 1 sibling. Even that, I noticed there's some differences, right? Because me being a middle child and being the oldest, so I'm second in the birth order. There's that whole birth order thing too. Yes. You can bring in. So yeah, I don't know if either one of you have some insights on this, but just right off, I can definitely relate to having some different views on siblings and how you relate to each other. And then adding another generation of children to that, where you as a couple have children, and then your siblings, their spouses have children, and how you raise them, how they raise them. It can bring up a lot.
Yes. Getting together those summer picnics.
Oh, yeah.
So many
Birthday parties, holidays, right?
Yeah, so many complexities. And just within sibling relationships too, not necessarily with extended family, but in this case, it would be hard for somebody that did not grow up with siblings to be able to relate, and that love and that connection that you will have with one of your siblings, it's very strong. So it's a hard situation here.
Recently, I was teaching a yoga class, and I always like to bring in a quote, and it's the synchronicities of it all, right? So I started really hearing this quote in my head just in my own daily life, and then this came up, and I was like, wow, yeah. So the quote is, seek to understand instead of be understood. And I sat with that for a while, like, wow, just being the person in the middle, right? Having one set of pressure explaining their situation or why, they think theirs is right. And then having your partner doing the same thing, explaining to you why he's right, or, that righteousness feeling of, this is how I was raised. We tend to, it's funny, everyone talks about breaking these generational curses, not curses. yeah.
Oops, slip.
Generational, what is it called? Generational patterns. Okay, all right, yeah, so, oops.
It just came out, right?
It did. I really had in my head the word patterns, but it could be a curse. It definitely could be. But we definitely start to, we stay in our comfort zone, and we get stuck there. And then it becomes like a battleground, like I'm right, and then you're right, but I don't know about you ladies, but those just, to me, feel like the defenses kind of popping up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want you to see how nervous and scared I am when I'm around the army of family that you have, or vice versa, that army of family is like, well, wait a minute. We're a little nervous that you're starting to step away from the tribe, and I got that. I had to explain myself, and I got to explain myself, and it does become the cyclical defense, and then what do you do when you're stuck in the middle? But, the solution to this is a completely different vibration than the problem. So if you keep thinking about the problem, you keep refeeding the problem and then worrying about it and staying in the defense. But to me, and it sounds so simple to say out loud and to actually do it, especially when there's emotions involved, to say to either parties, the family, the partner, something as simple as, I hear you. I don't know what to say to you. Kind of takes away that I have to fix this. It's not for that woman, it's not for Rosie to fix. It's for her to shift gears into, I see you, I hear you, I can see past your defenses, and I'm starting to realize you're nervous. But those defenses of, they're going to come out strong, so you don't see how fear. You're not, you don't. I don't want my wife to see how scared I am. So I'm gonna make sure I'm right. But
I like that, Linda. That's very powerful to, because it's very hard to do, to realize when you have a pattern of behavior. She's used to, maybe she's one of the middle children, who knows, right? If she has multiple siblings, and as a middle child, it's like I'm always trying to navigate, keep the peacemaker, right? I was the peacemaker, and
it's not your job. That's not your
right.
They tell you it's your job, but that is not your job, and that can make people a little nervous too when you finally say, you know what, I'm tired and I love you all, and maybe we all don't get along, but that's on you. That's your choice at this point. I've done the best that I could possibly do, and I'm gonna now enjoy it all. I'm going to go and I'm going to sit on my lounge chair and I'm going to let the kids run around and have a great time or not, like whatever
Yeah.
the
The
disciplining is
choices.
happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Choose your choice and let them choose their choice. But wow.
Yeah, I think it's important to try to understand where he's coming from and what might be driving his discomfort and frustration, and acknowledging that these differences, to do that without judgment, to create a space of mutual respect. And also, you need to let your husband know how important your siblings are to you and how much it means to you to have these family interactions because that's your life. You have to express that. And hopefully he understands the concerns.
Yeah, well, and you bring up a good point of just boundaries. Like,
Yes.
this is my line. These are my family. Love them or leave them. I guess that's not the right way. That's not what I'm thinking. Love them or hate them, but they're still my family. They're still parts of me that, that are me. So,
Well, and even as siblings, my brothers and I, or I'm sure your siblings, you don't necessarily raise kids the same way. And you may allow a little bit of different behavior around those cousins because you want them just to have fun, right? You want them just to, and you can with children explain, like, hey, we don't normally do that in our house, but you know what? You're with your cousins. We're all just outside having a good time, or whatever it is. You can talk to children as long as they're not like little tiny. But you can describe that to them, that at home, these are kind of what we do at home. This is what works for our family. But when you're with your, extended cousins and things, you can explain that to children too. And maybe that's something that could help too, is knowing that sometimes my husband and I have joke like mama rules and daddy rules. And what we mean,
Yeah.
and what we mean is, when the other one's gone, because we've both traveled in our jobs from time to time, the other one is in charge, and so it's mama rules, right?
Yeah.
And if mom's gone, then it's dad rules, and we have different ways of parenting. We just really do, and we've just learned to, just kind of make a joke out of it and know that that's who we are as people. So.
Acceptance. Yeah, it's just an acceptance piece of like, yeah, go ahead, Blanca.
Yeah, it's like some families will be more strict about having sugar, when they're all together. Oh, no, you cannot have candy. And, the other family let these kids have all the candy they can. So it's kind of like, all of those dynamics. Or no, you cannot have a soda. You need to have just water. Or,
Right. And
that
the
kind
kids
of
come
thing
home
that
all,
it can
yeah.
yeah, and then it's like, Mom, I want that because my cousin is having that, and but you're not allowed that. So it's all that stuff that can come up when there are family dynamics.
Yeah, and then the kids come home all sugared up, and the one who is normally like very strict is like, and this is why we don't hang out with your family anymore, right? Like,
Yeah.
But oof, that's tough to go into that. Like, I don't know. Everything happens for so many reasons. If you can shift out of the resentments, out of the blames, out of the shame games, and into the, okay, this is something that is outside of my comfort zone. What do I need to accept? And what do I need to learn? And maybe maybe there's something that I need to be more assertive about. I mean, it's your lessons. I know there's some times that I needed to be able to speak up with my family, and other times I needed to just, I hear you. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm normally an enabler, but I'm not going to do that this time. And you have your choices. I don't know.
Maybe they can find some activities that are more like a common ground, for him and her siblings. And I don't know if they can find like a hobby to enjoy together, without only being on those social gatherings, to maybe find a connection. I don't know.
Yeah, something.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, families do so much for us. They can help. They help us learn. They help us learn how to set boundaries just for your own heart. And sometimes, my God, like when you are in the middle, how to set the boundaries for yourself. Like, I can't fix all this. I can't keep trying to come up with different solutions, and that keeps me in my mind of like that there's something wrong, there's a problem, and that I need to fix it. So that's still the problem, shifting into the vibration of whatever the solution would be, and that is personal. I guess that's kind of like in every individual family kind of a solution experience. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, you're just saying sometimes there isn't always a defined answer, right?
Yes,
There's sometimes it's just, sometimes it's about just talking and discussing. That was, I guess, kind of my point with my husband and I. We both would get so frustrated until we finally were like, you know what? It's just not worth arguing about anymore. We're different. We parent different. And as long as we can set boundaries for certain things and certain times, then other times it doesn't matter. And trust.
And trust each other. And trust the path. Like, I know.
We're both good people. We can both raise children, and we have to somehow figure out how to do it together, even though we have different views. Yeah.
In this case, you guys can, come to a term, and agree to disagree. But if there are other couples, that relationship is really strained, but these family dynamics, it wouldn't hurt to get some couples counseling, because a therapist can find, can provide a neutral space and work, through all these different things, and help figure out how to better have these family dynamics, in a way that will support the marriage.
Right.
Oh, Blanca, that's great. Glad you brought that up.
Love always wins, right?
Yeah.
Always wins. That is beautiful. So many tools, so many different ways to approach something that isn't even broken, that just needs a little extra love into it, so. All right. Well, this was another amazing episode of Lighten Up and Level Up. I am Linda Braun.
I'm Blanca Gallardo.
And I'm Michelle Dial.
And together we are
Lighten Up
and Level Up.